McNair gives it to George, running right up the middle. Touchdown! Titans! There are no flags on the field! It's a miracle!
Safety, now you're one-on-one with it.
Shows why he's the man! In trouble. Sack!
Ladies and gentlemen, Titan Nation, welcome back to another episode of Mr. Titan. Today, I have three beautiful young ladies with me for the co-host of the professional cheer podcast, Sideline Rewind. We have Anita, we have Rhonda, and then we have Jeanine. How are you guys doing today?
What's up? How are you?
Well, again, thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it. You guys have your podcast, and it's, again, anyone who's interested, I will put the links down below, and kind of tell me how you guys met. Did you guys all meet during, practicing with Titans training? How did that all come to fruition?
Ooh, child.
Well,
Honey,
it happened
dope.
way back in 1999.
Okay.
The Titans announced they were coming to Nashville.
Woo!
So Anita and I specifically, when they had the tryouts, I believe there was I want to say 500 people that came to try out. Over 500.
Yes.
They had it at Opryland Hotel. They had lines everywhere. Just the longest line you ever imagined, longer than Black Friday. It was crazy. And so long story short, we make the finals. And when you make the finals, they put you and split you in groups of 3 to 5 contestants. And so Anita drew contestant number 1, and I was contestant number 2, and that's how we met.
Okay.
Way back in 99.
99.
Yeah.
I
So
can't even
ancient.
believe that is so crazy that was
We were in the same group,
The same
Yes.
group.
first group,
Very first group.
That's awesome.
which seems so nerve-wracking, but in hindsight, as soon as we were finished, we're like,
Thank
goodness
you.
we were
Yeah.
in the
Y'all
first
get to
group.
watch everybody else.
Exactly.
Yes, that's right. So it's been a long
And
time.
then she cheered the first year as well. So we've all known each other since that first year cheering together with the
That's right.
Titans.
Wow.
The inaugural season, that was just magic.
It was a magical season.
You think?
It was
Woo, so good. Can't even make it up. I mean, it's we were just so lucky to be with the Titans and in that whole experience. And I don't think anybody can ever truly understand how,
magical.
yeah.
It was.
Well, you guys were the first ones. You can literally say you guys were the OGs. You guys paved the way for
That's
Titan
right.
Cheers, right?
We did a lot of things to pave the way. We've talked about this before in our podcast. For Walker tennis shoes. Now they get the cool boots. We did not have that. We had grandma tennis shoes that were perfect for us now,
Mhm.
but not then. But anyway, we did a lot of things, and but it was so fun and so worth it.
It really
Yes.
was like an amazing season, just aside from getting to go to the Super Bowl and all those things. But the community was so behind the Titans, and just, every time we got another win, we never lost a home game
Right.
while we cheered.
Mhm.
And actually, I think I cheered for 3 years,
Mhm.
and we never lost the home
Yeah,
game.
It was that
we
whole
while we
3
cheered.
years
And
before.
that's right. And
Nice.
then Jeanine and I stayed on for 2 years after that. She was the choreographer and I was the fitness director.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the three of us have just been friends ever since. So
Yeah, long time.
That's
Ancient.
awesome. That's awesome. And then the fact that that's something I always found pretty interesting, is that you could take what you learned and then especially what you were doing, back then, and then turn it into a career or a hobby or whatnot of now explaining to people and sharing stories. Because that's, again, nowadays, that's what it's about, right? Sharing your stories and getting yourself out there. And if anyone has not listened to it, give it a shot. It's pretty cool. I like it. Like I said, the setup beats me. You guys look comfortable. And it's awesome. It's
We
awesome.
got the
Yeah.
palms.
These
Look
were
at
our
that.
Yes.
today.
Got lots of ancient artifacts.
We've
You don't
got
see them, but they're great.
The Oilers.
Love it. Yeah.
So we've got all memorabilia here.
The Titans.
Are you guys originally born and raised in Nashville?
I think I'm
This
the only
is-
one. I was born and
She
raised
is.
in Nashville, so
Okay.
I am a unicorn here these days, but I am proud to say that. So yeah,
There we
for
go.
sure.
And
Awesome.
where were you guys born?
I'm from Mississippi originally.
Okay.
Corinth. What's up?
That again with that accent.
Corinth, Mississippi.
Cor-
But I went to high
Corinth.
school at Kossuth High School. I can't forget them. So yeah, Mississippi, born and raised. Let's go.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay.
And I grew up in Ohio and I spent my summers in Texas with my grandparents. So I was a Bengals and a Dallas fan.
Woo!
I moved here in 94. I know I just told my age, but whatever. I moved here in 94 and loved it so much. I've been here ever since. And so as soon as the Titans were announcing they were coming, and if you love football and you love to dance
Yeah.
and that whole arena, then it was just like the thing you had to do. You had to
Absolutely.
just go after it.
Now, what was I mean, you guys could each have your own spot and answer the question if you like. What was your main goal? Was it always to be a cheerleader? Was it a dancer? I know I seen Jeanine's page and she was like a Disney princess at one point. No?
We just have a favorite princess in our house, and that's Rapunzel is our favorite one.
You like Rapunzel, okay. So I was just curious on that spectrum.
Well, I'll start. I can remember in elementary school, I think I was 5th grade, I decided I wanted to be a dance teacher. That was my end all be all. I was going to do that. And so we didn't have like a dance team at my high school. We had cheerleading. I was a cheerleader.
Yes.
So when it got time to graduate, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Oh, let me go try out for the dance team at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. I'm like, I probably have no chance of getting, but I'm gonna do it.
Go UT.
Anyway, I did get it.
Yes.
And it was so fun. I was there for 4 years and we got to cheer. We were on the sidelines at every home game during the Peyton Manning days, which was so cool. Like, and they used to take us to the bowl games. So we got to so many fun experiences with that. And just, I thought there was nothing that could top that with the energy of the 106, I think, or 107,000 at the time stadium that was always sold out.
Yep.
Until I came back to Nashville because I moved back home after college and it's like, I'll go try out for the Titans. And then once I did that, I was like, wow, this is even cooler than that. I mean, I don't know. They're pretty similar, but I will say the Titans for me topped that experience. And then I did fulfill my lifelong dream and I've been a dance teacher for over 20 years. So
Okay, cool.
there you go.
It's in her blood.
Yeah.
It's in her blood.
Mhm.
She's awesome.
And then we'll just move on to the next person like that.
No, and then let's say she did, and I said this, we said this at the beginning, but she did choreograph for the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
How many years?
2 years.
Yep,
Yeah. And
2
then I
years.
had a daughter. So
Yeah.
I had to do that, but
Yeah, she did choreograph for
yeah.
the Titans.
So,
too.
but I did in that time too, I did get to go to the Pro Bowl. So that was super fun when it was still in Hawaii. And so
Yep.
that was so fun because I'd never been to Hawaii. Going there I went by myself and I was a little bit nervous and everything. But when it was time to leave, I was like so sad and crying because I had really bonded with all those girls from all over, the country and the different squads. So that was super fun and something I'll never forget. So
That's one thing that they're missing. I think they lost its essence is the Pro Bowl.
I agree.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
It's just something that's just like
Yeah, it's kind of like Orlando, Hawaii.
And let's say no shade to Orlando.
No shade to Orlando.
Okay, we love it, but it is something to go. I mean, I've never been, but it's something to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different.
yeah, definitely. And even the All-Star game too itself, it's lost its
Yeah.
then it's more of a flag, and like I said, they've done flag football. It's just something it was something different way back then. I remember talking to Dexter. Dexter was talking about when he went to Hawaii and stuff. It was like just the experience, the football players, I think itself, not along with everyone else, is just a way different experience,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So-
for sure.
That's awesome. And I want to shout out. Did you know that Dexter was on our podcast?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout Dexter.
He knows everybody.
We love
from our
Dexter.
podcast.
We love
Awesome.
Dexter.
Shout out to Dexter.
Yes.
Dexter is, like I said, he's a dance dad. You know,
He is.
puts-
Yes.
he
is.
does. I call him on occasion. He's usually at an audition, or I'm like, man, you just don't stop. He's like, yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm just on the go. I'm like, I give him credit. He has girls, I have all boys, and I'm just like, dude, like you just.
It's a
So
different
usually,
ballgame.
when I'm in Nashville, I'll hang out and we'll have a guys' night, just me and Dexter. But
That's so fun.
awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
What about you, Rhonda?
So I'm Rhonda from Mississippi originally.
Mhm.
I was a cheerleader in high school, college. I cheered for Mississippi State. I
okay.
moved to Nashville in 1995. I cheered for the Nashville Cats
Oh,
arena team.
Yes.
And then the Titans are coming to town. And what's so crazy is I went to a game probably the year before they came to Nashville. They were in Memphis.
yep.
They were in the Liberty Bowl,
right.
and I was obsessed with the director. And they call me stalkers, but I loved her. Her name is Mika.
Oh,
she was
we
our
love her.
director.
We love her.
And I went to that game, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so amazing! I've got to do this." So when they announced that they were coming to Nashville, I want to try out for this. I met these I made the squad. Thank you, Jesus. And I met these young ladies, and it was the most amazing thing I think I ever could have done. It was amazing. The whole year, the Music City Miracle, the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Could not have written a better script. Well, for my life anyway,
Mhm.
for things going down the way it did, you just couldn't write that. So it was amazing.
Definitely. Oh, nice.
Amazing time.
Mhm.
Anita?
So I cheered. I did like competition cheerleading when I was in high school, and then when I went to college, I actually coached high school competition squads. And then I was a lot older on the team. I was one of the oldest cheerleaders, so I had been out of that realm for a while. But I was in the fitness industry. I'm a personal trainer and group fitness instructor. And so I was actually, when the Titans came, I was in the midst of training for a fitness competition. So I was really fit, and I was just like gung ho on that. And they're like, Titans are coming. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's redirect here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, then I tried out, and it was like amazing. But I had been out of the dance world for a while, so it was a little tougher on me. And thank goodness they don't have we didn't have the technical skills required that they do now.
Oh my
Because I probably wouldn't have made it.
I wouldn't have either.
But it was, like I said, a most amazing experience ever.
But I will say, I think you still would have, because so many teams these days, they're not looking just for that dance
That's
ability.
true.
They're looking for a total package, somebody that can, speak appropriately and conduct themselves in a professional manner. And just, it has that whole package. And I feel like
Well,
both of you are excellent representations of that. So
and I think that first year it was especially important. So we went through a big interview process,
Sure.
and you knew we were going to get bombarded by the media because it was a brand new season, and we needed to be representing the Titans well. And so that part of it was, I'm sure, carried a huge weight. So yeah,
Definitely. Now, being a cheerleader, I mean, it could be like a vast of a lot of things that you could do. What were the things that you guys had to do? I know you guys didn't travel for away games, or you guys did. How did that work? It was just the home games. That's it?
Super Bowl. Like not even the playoff games. No
Okay.
NFL cheerleaders cheer at an opposing game or an away game, except the Super Bowl. So, but our practices, we practiced quite a bit. So it was evenings, obviously, because we all had full-time jobs. And
Okay.
so we practiced a few nights a week for 2 to 4 hours.
Yep.
And usually on a Saturday. And then on game day, if it was a noon game, we got there between 7 and 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So it was a really long day. We put in a lot of work, but wouldn't trade it for anything.
No,
It was worth it.
definitely labor of love. You have
Yes.
to love it, or it's not going to work for you.
Absolutely.
Now, seeing the different things now you see, like nowadays, like the cheerleading squad of the 2024 Titans compared to your squad, what are the differences? They still have some similarities? Like, do they do things differently? Are there things there that weren't there back in 99 that you're like, man, like you were talking about the shoes,
Yeah.
They,
So-
yeah,
the boots.
Yeah, I would
Really?
say upgraded their uniforms
The
quite a
uniform
bit.
looks
They look
really
great.
good.
They absolutely do. But I would say I feel like they've kind of made that 360. They're back kind of where
We were.
we were in the sense of the style of the routines and having the guys there, and the stunts and the tumbling and just very visual and just athletic. And I mean, we've talked about this before. We are so impressed with the job that they're doing, and
Right now.
yeah, they really are knocking it out of the
Amazing.
park.
Yes.
Yeah, I
real
think
good.
that's true. Like you see teams change direction or their choreography changes or their style.
Mhm.
And so it's really cool to see that right now, I feel like they're exactly where we were when we
Yes.
started, having the guys and the stunting and then the choreography all mixing in and just creates that great visual.
Which
And
also makes us feel anxious, but that's okay.
It's okay.
You got to come back. Everything comes back in style.
That's
So
right.
now we're back in
It
style.
does. There's a
That's
lot
right.
of things that happen like that.
Yes.
They
So
So they're
It's a
really
good thing.
Yeah, they
we're
really
super
look good.
proud to say that we were Titans cheerleaders. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we did travel. So you travel for appearances, like a lot of the bases, Army,
Mhm.
naval bases. And I actually got to go the year she went to Pro Bowl, the first year, I went on a USO tour
Mhm.
to Japan and Korea, and it was really cool. So there were 6 of us all from different teams. And we flew into LA, didn't know each other. We learned all the choreography over video, which
Yeah.
was
Oh,
very
wow.
then than it is now.
No,
It was like-
listen. It was a VHS tape.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Because I had one of those for Pro Bowl, and
Yeah.
you had to stop, rewind,
I mean,
stop, rewind.
it's not easy. And so we learned all that, and then we met in LA. All of us flew into LA. We had a production manager who met with us, and then we rehearsed. And so once we got to Japan, it was like perform a day, travel a day, perform a day, travel a day. So I think it was 3 weeks. So it was Japan and Korea.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
so it really
Yeah.
was a cool experience. And, it was kind of scary. I had bonded so much with my team and then left to go join a bunch of other girls.
Right.
But, it was just really an unbelievable
Yeah,
experience. that you just-
absolutely. Yeah.
That's wild. So I could only imagine. That's interesting. Then again, a lot of people wouldn't know that, right? Unless they listen, they hear this. What do you have any crazy stories? Because you see it all the time. It's maybe not the best thing to ask, but like, have you seen anyone get like wiped out by a player? We see it all the time, but the cheerleaders are pretty far, right, from the players,
Right.
or no?
Yeah,
I know that it happened, but I don't remember
It happening-
specifically. I think
yeah.
one of the hardest things was at the Super Bowl because on the field,
Okay.
there's so much media down there and
Yeah.
you can't even see the game. There's chaos around the field. And
Mhm.
so I remember cameras running and cords slapping us and it really was kind of chaos out
And
there.
and a person right here. So
Yeah,
let's
you're
think-
trying to do your dance.
Yeah, and somebody is right there or like an inch
camera.
behind you to where
Oh.
you're really not
So
being able
really,
to
all we
move.
could do was face the audience. This is not a dance performance. The crowd.
Mhm.
And a highlight for me was I look and I'm like, oh, there's Justin Timberlake. Oh my God. There's so many celebrities like right there in the, where we can see in the first few rows. So yeah, that was really
I
fun.
do remember one, this was kind of negative for me. Do you remember, I can't remember what it was called, but it was a shoe company that we had that big parachute thing. We walked around and the guy would throw a
The
football.
Shoe Carnival.
Shoe
Yes,
carnival.
the shoe. I was sitting here thinking, what was it?
And they'd
We love you, Shoe
have,
Carnival.
they'd
Every
do
single
a contest with somebody throwing a football as we walked around with this big parachute thing.
Oh,
And he's football, and wherever it landed, that's the prize he got.
Mhm.
And so the footballs are like being launched at us. And I can remember one coming right at my head, and I went like this, and it bounced out, and the whole crowd booed. Like, I just messed him up for his prize. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's coming in my head.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's funny. Now,
There-
you talked about it, Super Bowl. We'll talk about the Super Bowl and being in the Super Bowl. Also the Music Miracle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you explain, because obviously the crowd isn't engaged in the game, and I guess depending on if the game is going good or bad, some people like say pay attention, some people don't pay attention. Can you kind of go through each of you guys of the situation and when it happened and how chaotic that stadium was.
Odd. Well, first of all, in that game, I mean, I get what you're saying, but in that specific game, I think every person was paying attention. And I also think that there was no doubt in anyone's mind that we were going to win somehow, some way. It was going to happen. Nobody doubted because we didn't lose.
That's
I mean,
right.
it's just how it was. And so for me, I mean, I can remember a whole, because we're spread out in 4 groups on
Where
the
were
field.
you? Where were you on the field? Do you remember?
You know, where they come in the tunnel, I was down here.
Okay.
So I can remember our whole group like laid down on, like we were just like, just could not believe it. Just laying there, just like, oh my gosh, this really just happened. I mean, I'll never ever forget it.
You
Ever.
get chills when you think about that moment. Like,
Yeah.
and I think also that was the reason that no one ever left the Titans game until the clock ran out.
Exactly.
I
It's
mean,
like
even at the
some
Super
people
Bowl.
left and then they were like, what? Just beating themselves up about it. It's like
Yeah.
after that, it didn't matter what the score was. If the clock hadn't run out yet, no one's leaving the
Like
stadium.
you didn't need your Sonic free whatever they gave you. That,
Yeah.
You didn't need it.
didn't you? They give you something free if
They
they got a
do.
certain
If they
score. You got a
win,
free.
If they got a
was it
touchdown,
Sonic or somewhere? I don't know.
I don't remember, but there were all all those.
I got to run and get it.
You're right. You're right. Everybody stayed, honey.
Yeah, everybody. But when you agree, everybody was in. Everybody was locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, and for me, I think, you know, they ran in. Kevin Dyson ran in. Everybody's like, but then what's so amazing about it is you get to celebrate another time because the referees had to review, was it a lateral pass or not?
Yeah.
So, you know, my thing was we were right there in the end zone where the players came out on the other side. And so the referee's tent where he was looking, reviewing, all of the Titans fans was like right there and he's looking at it and we're all just sitting there looking at him and he goes back on the field, he goes, touchdown.
Yeah.
And it's like the excitement all over again.
Except up 10 more notches.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the roar of the crowd and that happening right then, it was like something you will never forget. It was like you celebrated twice.
I mean, we like to think it's all because of us, but
There you
The
go.
lucky charm.
Good luck charms,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was amazing. It was that magic that day was amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you get a stadium like that. Not especially nowadays. That the way the reaction, the way the crowd was in it was something special that I don't think it's
Sure.
been in Nissan Stadium in a really long time.
We were the loudest fans in the NFL during that time.
Yeah.
And it was really like our secret weapon because some of the other teams struggled so bad because our stadium was so loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately now it's kind of the quietest.
Yeah.
It's like,
We need to get back out there is what you're saying.
Back
There
in
you go.
style. The team's coming back.
look, get those pom poms ready. You got to go out there because it's there. You
If
go.
we need to take the field, we will.
Yeah, it's
Farm.
We
Not wearing those shoes though.
no
We get the
shoes.
boots this time.
Yeah.
The white boots looking cute. We got it.
now obviously uniforms, right? You guys all get a set of uniforms. When it's cold games, all you get was a jacket. You guys get to switch to pants. What happens?
Marshmallow Man suits. Didn't
We
We had the blue
One-piece
Titans,
things.
one piece things, and then we had warm
Which I'm not going to say what we called those for the
What
nickname.
did we? Oh,
No, don't say it. But we really didn't have that many cold games. I don't.
Only the Christmas on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that was really
super
cold. But most of the time, it was still pretty warm.
Yeah.
And once you're dancing,
It's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
that bad.
So we had the one thing, and then we had warm ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
We did. Yeah.
Okay.
They were like the puffy, not flattering.
They
but-
were actually like unisex kind of track suits that were not
Okay, I was trying to figure out like okay what she said. Okay, so they're like
windbreaker, like a
windbreaker.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that windbreaker material.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't heavy.
They weren't.
Heavy jackets.
God love them.
Thank God for Santa hats that game.
Yeah.
Christmas game.
Yeah.
That's
They
what
kept
kept
us
us
warm. The Santa hats.
Yes.
I love that.
Mhm.
hats. Now, do you guys? I know they have it nowadays, unless it hasn't changed. And you said about like appearances wise. I know like for training camp, there's a lot of like Titans cheerleaders go around talking to people, taking pictures. You guys back in '99 did the same thing as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A
Pretty
ton. We had appearances. We went everywhere.
We did
Yeah.
a ton of, like, any charity event that came up, especially that first year, then we were on board and we had somebody representing. And yeah, in fact, when I went on the USO tour, and the first time we had to sit down and sign autographs, and we were in Japan, I was like, and they walk up to the table. I'm like, I don't know how to write that. And finally, our production manager runs over and he says, have them write their name down and then you sign it. And I'm like, thank you. I didn't know what I was going to do.
That's funny. Now, let's let's talk about your podcast. That's something that is really taken off really good. Who started it? Who came up with it? Who kind of okay, there you go.
It was
No, it
all
wasn't
of us.
her
It was
idea.
Rhonda's
You tell.
idea.
It was all of
Come
it.
on, Rhonda.
We're in the car.
ahead.
Well, I was over at a friend's house and they had, you know how sometimes people watch YouTube and it was like the top 10 stadiums in the NFL,
Yeah.
Okay.
like the best stadium. And so I was looking at that and then they had, I think they stopped on, I don't know what the number was, but it was the Kansas City Chiefs and the cheerleaders. It was a still shot of them on the field practicing. And I
Mhm.
go, wow, you know, wow, when people, they don't realize that we get there at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning to start practicing to get ready for the game. So I thought, wow, that'd be a good idea to kind of just let people know.
Yeah.
So the next day, fortunately, we were going to a Tennessee Titans alumni brunch together. And I didn't even know, and I'd been out, and let me just say this, I was out of the city for 10 years. I had lived in Nashville for 10 years. I came back, live here now, connected with these two. So they're like, oh, are we going to go to the Tennessee Titans cheerleader brunch, alumni brunch?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I'm going. They're like, yeah, let's go. So we go, we're in the car going to this brunch.
Mhm.
And I go, and myself was going, should you tell him what your thought is? Tell him what you should do. And so I finally said, y'all, I was watching this on YouTube and I think we should do a podcast about cheerleading, about
Right.
our experience. We should tell people what we do and, you know, show the behind the scenes. And they were like, this one, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And then this one was like, we're doing it. And I'm like, let's go. And so we call her the president.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of fall in line and she just kind of spearheaded it. And this is where we are. We're like,
What? Tell them it's our anniversary.
and then on this channel, oh my goodness. Woo! On December 21st,
Yes,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
2023, we did our very first podcast for
Wow.
Sideline Rewind. And we are 18 episodes in.
Wow.
And so I'm just so thankful. And we've got some great feedback and it's just a great
We've
experience.
had great guests and
It's
Great
just-
guests.
I mean, one of the most fun things about it is, like she said, the initial reasoning for doing it was just to really showcase and highlight all the work that goes into the cheerleading world. And people don't understand how much is involved and like how little you get paid. And that's not part of it. It's not why you do it,
Right.
but all the things that are involved that people have no idea. And so that's the main reason we started it. But then it's been so fun. Like you just kind of geek out trying to research because there's not a lot of information when you
Right.
start trying to find out about the history. And it's been so much fun, the things we've dug up and uncovered. And
Mhm.
then a lot of we're members of the National Football Cheer Alumni Organization. And we went to the reunion in Boston this summer and there was like 600 people and it was just incredible to connect with all of them. But a lot of them are reaching out and say, you probably didn't know this about this family. And they're bringing stuff to us, just the history behind it.
Wow.
And it's been just incredible to go through all of it. So
For sure.
It's been amazing.
we had the first African-American cheerleader in the NFL on as a guest, and we met her in Boston. And
Miss
so
Laverne.
Amazing.
Laverne Johnson.
Of the Washington Redskins.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
We
Nice.
had Amy Barber for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders on there. And she's the one, 1977. She had the pigtails of the
Long
Dallas,
blonde
long
pigtails.
blonde pigtails. And we met her and she's been on the show. It's just been amazing. And then and let me just say this, these two young ladies, we've been, we were on the squad in 99. And then we've gone through our lives and back together in 2021, I think is when we were at the Titans brunch together. and we're still friends. And it's
That's
just such a great sisterhood.
Right.
To be together. I just want to just share that we are, it's just been a great to kind of commune with people and then bring back these memories, but then bring a positive spin to cheerleading that I don't think that people know about, that we want to represent and just kind of showcase for everybody to understand what it is behind the scenes. And let me just say, it's not always positive, but we do want to represent some of the positive that does come out of it.
Absolutely.
The sisterhood that does come out of it. It's been really, really fortunate for us. And I think that that's what we're trying to do with the platform.
Well, that's awesome, man. Again, happy anniversary to the
Thank
three of you. That's one of the reasons why I wanted you guys on, because I wanted you guys to share your experience. And like I said, a lot of people don't really know too much about you. They just think you guys, just like everyone else, they think they show up on Sunday, they cheer for a little bit, and that's it. And
That's right.
I know, obviously, I know, but
Right. No,
Right.
I agree with you.
Yes.
so just the fact that to share your experience and your stories and to kind of set people right, steer them the right way and be like, hey, yeah, it's not all about that. Just, just the game. Like you guys, let's talk a little bit about the setup for game day. You said you guys got there at like 6 or 7 in the morning. Like that's wild already. Like a lot of people bet you don't know that, they're probably like, oh, they get there at 10:30 or something. Like, no.
I know.
So if you guys could talk about your, I guess, your game day schedule, we'll say.
Well, I think so. We did get there a lot earlier, and one of the things we talked about this in one of our episodes, I don't think people understand, when you see the girls out there and their alignment is perfect, is really incredible because we don't have the opportunity to practice on the field, or we didn't at that time.
Okay.
So that game day morning, in between whatever was happening on the field for the players and everything
If there was
else,
time.
And the field crew, because the field crew, if
Right.
there's a like a concert or another college game before it, that
Mhm.
they are working all night to get the
Keeping
field
that field.
prepared
Mhm.
for the professional game the next day.
Yeah.
So then we either get in to where, I mean, we're in on their time basically to get the field ready for
Right.
prime time at 12. So we're in and out trying to get field time to practice.
And I think you just had to really understand that whatever, when we got there, we had no idea what our schedule was necessarily because
Right.
it really was dependent on everything else.
Yep.
Oh.
And so you had to kind of turn on a dime and be like, we're getting ready, but it's out on the field time and let's go rehearse. And then, oh, now you got to go do this tailgate thing. And so
Or
we
you got to
didn't
go
always-
to this box, or
Right.
somebody's having a special event for this organization or for the
you got to go
for
to the
the
suite.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
But
gotta
we didn't always know our schedule.
Nope.
So we had to be off the cuff.
ready
Which-
to
yeah.
ready to go.
Which, truth be told, it's a great life skill and
It
it kind of
is.
prepares you to roll with whatever.
Absolutely.
I think another thing too that we kind of didn't touch on, but we want to do is
Yes.
inspire other young girls or guys, whoever is interested in getting into professional cheerleading, just go for it. We highlight a lot of things on our show about tryouts and
Yes.
what you should do and where you should, research and
Where you fit.
exactly. So I hope that we're inspiring people that maybe danced in high school that want to do something further to do that and just go for it, because it really is positive, and we might not get paid like a whole bunch of money, but we get paid in lifelong friendships, which to me is worth more than money.
There's a lot of value. in
So
it.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of value in
Well,
it.
and I think the other thing that people don't realize is the careers of the cheerleaders. So they think
Absolutely.
we just kind of meander in and cheer on Sunday and we like whatever. But we had doctors and teachers and
Absolutely.
attorneys and business owners,
Flight
and
attendants.
flight attendants, and I mean,
teachers.
really,
Dance teachers.
Just kidding.
I mean,
But
so
teachers,
yeah,
dance
all walks of
teachers.
fun
life.
fact, one of my former, because I am a dance teacher for a long time, one of my former students, dance students, is actually a Titan cheerleader right now, and she just graduated law school, so she's like
Right.
Yeah.
and so so she's being a Titans cheerleader and an attorney. So you go, Jonna. That's all I gotta
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then I
Doctors.
think the other
Monica was a
thing,
doctor.
that's
Right.
right. Absolutely.
and I think the other thing, we learned that philanthropic lifestyle, if you didn't already have it, when we cheered, because there were so many charity events. And like I said, we tried to cover them all. And so most of us carry that into after our sideline.
Mhm.
we still are involved. There's a lot of
Right.
different charity involvements within each chapter of the NFL cheerleading organizations, but then there are some that the whole National Football Cheer Alumni Organization that we all represent, and so that's really kind of a cool thing to see, and proud of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It just carries on to other things in your life.
Yeah,
And it's a great positive thing. It really is.
that's awesome. Like I said, the bond you guys have together, after so many years still, and then now you're doing another chapter in life of something else,
Right.
which is really cool with each other, so that's awesome.
That's
And I
right.
think you guys are doing just right, setting the positivity and letting the people know exactly how hard cheerleading is, and not saying, hey, it's just show up on Sunday and that's it. Like,
No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like too, I think about when the people go to the Hall of Fame for the football players, when they go to give their speech at the Hall of Fame, they sell about their high school person and their coaches, and then elementary school. It's kind of like the same thing. It's like we had our start and we have people that influenced us along the way.
Mhm.
It is a story. It is such a great story about how cheerleading has inspired us to be the people that we are today. Not saying it's one thing, like cheerleading is all of it is, but it was a catalyst
Mhm.
to inspire us to be what we are in all avenues of our life.
What's so cool is when we have guests and things, how cheerleading has affected them, whether it's like we talked about Dexter, hey, his daughters are into dance and they might want to pursue some type of NFL spot one day, or
Mhm.
so it's so cool to hear everybody's different stories, and it all has that one common factor of cheerleading, and so it's
that's
really
right.
really cool.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's more than just cheerleading, but this is a catalyst for other things to happen in your life, and that's, I think, what we want to say too. It's like it's more than just that, and we just wanted to shed a light to that.
That's right.
and I think you guys are doing the best job ever. You guys are doing it.
Oh, thank you so
Shout out
much.
to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and
Now,
thank you for what you're doing.
What's up? Oh no, I appreciate it. Now, before I let you guys go, you guys got to give me a funny cheerleading story. Do you guys have any? You have to have at least one or two. Look, Rhonda already in the middle. Look, I think she has. She's already.
So many.
She put her hands on her face.
Honey, it's so many stories. I don't even know what to tell.
What could be the funniest?
What
one?
can be the funniest?
I mean, I can think of some, but I don't think we can say
There's some
those.
we probably can't share.
No, we
but-
can't share those, but um,
Child, I don't know.
Oh, that-
Funny? Ooh,
what? Just tell it.
Yes,
I can't,
yes.
can't-
but
Come on.
I don't know.
Take a swig and then keep it going. There you go.
A funny one.
Yeah.
Oh, child. Is it? Well, I don't know. Child, there's so
we
many.
gotta think of
Let
one
me
now
think
that
of
we
a
can't
funny,
share.
a funny one. And it's all funny, but ooh, child. Well, let me say this.
Okay.
I don't know if it was funny, but it was kind of like, wow, how did this happen? When we went to the Super Bowl,
Okay.
it was an ice storm.
Well, that was kind of funny, actually. It
was
was
kind of funny.
so. Yeah, MARTA shut down. Like
The Metro.
Oh, while we're on it.
While we're on it,
so we're
to get
out.
to Good Morning. Was it Good Morning America today?
No, that was when
that
we were
was-
trying to
yeah.
get to. The bus took us.
That was the bus.
supposed to take us to Good Morning
We
America.
missed that.
But our bus driver got lost, so we didn't get our spot on Good
Oh,
Morning
no.
America. And so we're on the MARTA to go rehearse at the Dome, and MARTA shuts down. We have to
because of
get
the
off.
ice.
There are cars flying. We've got those horrible looking unisex suits on, and cars are flying by with the ice slush. Just, I mean, we
Slapping
look.
us in the face.
And of course, the
What
Rams cheerleaders show up, and their bus got them. They didn't have to get on the
St.
MARTA.
Louis Rams.
They were like all put together. We come
With
in
their
looking
boots.
like homeless people just walked in, and it was. I mean, we had to laugh about it, but it was really a little bit humiliating.
And our families are calling us on the phone, going, "Y'all look like y'all were lost. What happened?" Because we didn't have us in the camera scanned us, and here are the St. Louis Rams cheerleaders, and then you look at us, and we had looked like, I guess, I don't know, rats. Like we were just like had been through like a trial and tribulation to get where we were. So it
But
was
hey,
kind of
look
funny.
at us now.
Right.
There you go.
It was, it was a fun experience because he's like ice in it. I don't even know if Atlanta has had an ice storm since then.
No,
And we need to look that up.
We've had
You
one
do.
because I know I was flying back from Mexico and I got stranded
In
there.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay.
You picture
but-
like your Super Bowl experience so glamorous.
Yes.
First of all, it was in Atlanta. That's great. Atlanta's awesome. I love Atlanta.
It's
but
like 50 minutes from
but
home.
we had a chartered plane. So we thought we were so cool. We're like, oh, we've got a chartered plane. We have made it. We're
Listen,
going to wheels up, wheels down, 24 minutes.
let me tell you, and it was not like a 7:30. It was a 7:47. Like in Nashville at the time,
She's a flight attendant.
I was at the
Yeah.
time. They didn't have 747s landing in Nashville.
Okay.
So they did a 747 airplane. That thing, like 400 people.
Yeah.
But it was like the cheerleaders and the coaches' wives
Yeah.
and the players' wives on this,
Staff
and some of the
yeah.
staffs on this big ass plane. What I'm saying is, it didn't take all that, but we're thankful
But we got to go on for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
to Atlanta from Nashville. So
That was cool. It
cool.
was.
I guess that's kind of funny.
That is
It's
funny. No,
like-
that is good.
Like when we couldn't get to the
Oh,
dome,
the play day. They couldn't practice either.
we couldn't get to the dome, so they were practicing in the
In
ballroom.
the hotel room.
The
We were in the
players
hallways
in the ballroom.
practicing. I mean,
Practicing in the hotel.
Wow.
Yeah.
it was pretty fun.
It's good. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
But you think it's gonna be something else, but then the ice says, "No, we're gonna do this."
No glamour for you,
No
girls. This is
glamour
how
for
it's
you.
gonna look.
It's all
You're
good.
going to learn to roll with it, whether you
That's
want
right.
to or
You
not.
guys had the ballroom though, right?
No, the players,
players
have the
got the
ballroom.
ballroom. We
We
got the
have
hallway.
hallways.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. You know,
I got the janitorial closet.
Yes.
it's okay. Oh, well,
No, but,
Yeah.
but we were there, and that's
And we wouldn't trade it.
we would not trade that for the
No,
world.
absolutely
We
not.
were so excited. It was
But
amazing.
you also have those memories, through your life where everything just goes smoothly and perfectly, and you kind of lose
Those are the
track.
ones
Like
you remember.
Those are not the ones you
Yeah.
remember.
Super
When
Bowl
everything gets
34.
upended,
That's the
when
one you
remember.
remember. That's
Okay.
it.
It was kind of like the Music City Miracle. You didn't know what was gonna happen,
No, you did not.
so it was all
and then you're like, hey man, that was actually pretty good. There you go.
Yeah.
yes,
In the hallway.
Abs- in the hallway. But you know
How
what?
many were in the hallway?
Oh,
we had 32.
32.
32 cheerleaders. Yeah, practicing for the pregame performance.
Which Rhonda found a video of. She went on a deep dive and she found a video of it. It's really cool.
Really?
We'll have to post it, but yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
we were
Interesting.
practicing.
I mean, because that's another thing about our cheering days. There were no cell phones that videoed.
Yeah.
So it's like we
It's-
have no footage. We have nothing. Like there might be a VHS tape here and there or something that VCR recorded as it came on, but we don't have a lot of proof of anything.
We
So,
don't.
which is good and bad.
We've deep dived a lot, and
Yeah.
she's on what's his name?
Huh?
Travis
Travis Tritt.
Yeah.
Travis Tritt.
Travis Tritt was
He
the
was in the
pregame. That's it.
she was on stage with him.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was great. It really was. And then Tina
was.
Turner,
She did
Oh,
the halftime show.
Tina Turner.
Tina
Woo.
Turner.
Hmm.
We
Proud Mary.
cannot- again. It was a funny moment, and it's funny, but it's a great memory.
It is.
Great.
It is.
It's all good.
I feel like we're leaving you speechless, Alex.
I know. It's like
I like
know.
it's the best. It's the ones, the guests that don't speak too much are the ones it's hard because again, when you get these guests, you want them to kind of share their experience and let them. And I can tell you guys are enjoying it, and I love it. I love watching your reaction and stuff, and just kind of bring back like those memories. Like you're like, damn, like So I love it. The less talking, the better. The better that.
Yeah.
That's
it's
how it
fun.
usually goes. It's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. It's just my uncle will judge me and be like, "You spent the whole time in the interview just smiling and nodding your head." I do a lot. It's like I'm not gonna be like, so I'm just like,
Yeah. Just smiling.
And the other cool thing, I don't think we mentioned this, but we're still friends with a lot of the players that
Yeah.
played when we cheered, and we still have that great bond with them. So that's really cool. That
that's
after all,
cool.
Yeah.
Like you said, like with Dexter, like with they're his kids and stuff, and like you can help them out, like you said, with
Yeah,
game
she's
day.
their coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's their coach.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Look
why
at
we had fun. Yes.
So it's like it comes full circle, which is
That's
really,
right.
really crazy, and that's awesome. And I just want to say, keep doing what you guys are doing. It's amazing, and keep putting positivity out, and keep giving information, because one thing bad about the internet is the misinformation.
That's right.
Yes.
It's
Takes
true.
anything and just runs with it. So as long as you keep doing this, regardless of who it touches or who watches it, you never know who's watching. That's the crazy.
Mhm.
So just keep putting yourself out there and keep sharing.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for having us.
We want to thank you for having us on. We saw you. Actually, Jeanine saw you and was like, she saw Steve Waterston on and said, we got to get to, he's got the OGs on
Got
there.
the OGs.
We are the OGs too.
Yeah.
So we need to be on his show. So
Yes.
There
thank
you
you.
go.
Thank you
So-
so much for having us on. We really do
Thank you
appreciate
guys for sharing. Thank you guys for taking the time. I know you guys are extremely busy and stuff, and I do appreciate you guys coming on and sharing some stories.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers. All right. Tighten up.
Go Titans.